Practice session for Junior TKM about to start. The televised finals coming up in just a few minutes' time, but I want to catch up with a couple of the drivers. Here's one, Kurt Roberts, the new English champion, won that at Fullbeck. How are you doing, Kurt?
Pretty well this weekend.
Okay, and where have you qualified for the pre-final? I know your pre-final will come, then the televised final. Where have you qualified for that?
Only 7th, because we had some mechanical issues in Heat 1, so didn't finish where we hoped to finish then.
And you had a good run at Fullbeck, and you won the English Championship title. You got the E-plate on your kart. How much does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's good to win a big event finally, to do well after last year not doing too well, but this year doing a lot better. Big
grid, as you can see, in Junior TKM. Charlie man on the 20, the man that ran into the camera at Clay Pigeon, but doing much better this weekend. 35, Scott McIntyre had that good run at Fullbeck as well. But the man I want to catch up with is the 55 kart, Daniel Butterworth. Here he is. All right, Daniel. Yeah. Great event for you, I would have thought, this weekend, but you've had a few issues in the 2 heats, unfortunately. You got taken out in 1, I think. But other than that, where are you going to be starting, do you think, the pre-final?
23rd.
Okay, so 23rd, but I am expecting you to come shooting through. Are you expecting that for yourself? Because you've certainly got some pace here at Glenny Park, haven't you?
Yeah, hopefully. When the patch runs out, I can pick them off.
So if you can get what you're looking for, if you're going 23rd, I guess you're looking to get into the top 10 for the televised final and then sort of push on from there, are you?
Yeah, top 15, then I can work my way up in the main final.
Okay, well, good luck.
Okay.
Junior TKM at Gleneagles Park. This one's going to be a belter. Abbi Pulling and Alex Page on the front row with Zach Oates and Kurt Roberts on the second. Newsham, Albone, Deal, Kearney, Pashley and Theo Edgerton on the 5th row of the grid. Pashley down in 9th is a bit of a surprise. Rob Wellham in P12 should be interesting. And we've got Liana Page and the other female in the grid, Maria Bright, in the grid as well. Keep an eye on Ian Sisson from the back row, though. He will be charging through. So let's watch as the drivers come through over the line, and we're racing, and it looks as though Abbi Pulling's going to have hard work to get back to the inside line in Alex Page alongside, and it looks as though several drivers are actually losing ground as they go up the hill, but no contact once again. A perfectly clean start, and Abbi Pulling has maintained her lead over Page. And look, the E-plate's gone through as well now. Page has lost 3 places as the 89 has surged through into 3rd position as well. That's Archie Albone.
Abbi Pulling's had a sterling day so far, the championship leader, and all her major competitors have had semi or full-on nightmares. Pashley started this one down in 9th, Ross Deal in 7th, Ross Deal second in the championship coming into the round, but he's had to come through the pre-final to get himself into 7th for this final. Abbi Pulling has had 2 wins in the heats and that won the pre-final. If she wins this, I'm not saying she's going to have secured the championship, but she's got a few rounds left and she is going to be, well, odds on as favourite to take this championship and become the first girl ever to win a Junior Super 1 National British Championship title. That's what we're looking at here, and she's got the lead, and she's got a reasonable lead here over Kurt Roberts, the E-plate. We spoke to him earlier. In 2nd place, he is one of the championship contenders, but he's not had the best of days. He's had to come through to get the position he's got at the moment in this race, but she's got a load of points over him. Oh, it's Page into the back of the car. Oh, Pulling's got a problem.
Abbi Pulling has got a problem. We were just riding on board there as Abbi Pulling is going backwards. Abbi Pulling is out of the race. It looks as though she's got a mechanical issue. As up the inside, Page is now going for 2nd. Kurt Roberts, the E-plate, leads. Well, it looks as though everybody in the championship battle is going to be in a disaster. It looks as though the fuel pipe is dragging on the tarmac on the back of Abbi Pulling's kart. That's going to leave the engine starved of fuel. Her race is over. Devastating.
She's still there in the midfield. She's still running, but she's under pressure. She's never going to make the end of the race. Ethan Newsham, the 30 car, through to 3rd place. It's the E-plate that leads. That's Rob Wellham making a move up the inside. Beautiful move there by Rob Wellham to make places up. But what a disaster for Pulling. She's dropping backwards. She's going to end up plumb last, just when it looked like she'd done all the hard work for the championship this season with a few rounds to go. If she won this race, she was going to be an absolute massive odds-on favourite. I didn't see her losing a championship if she'd have won this one, having won the 2 heats and the earlier pre-final. But now, oh, what an absolute disaster.
Well, this has blown the championship wide open. The likes of Deal, Pashley, and in particular the leader Kurt Roberts, it's thrown them a lifeline. But out of the race here, we've got Sisson out, Liam Hurrell is out, Reece Cullen-Jones is out, and Joel Oswick is out. Another championship contender, Theo Hesketh, has had an absolute mare of a weekend as well. So this is absolute game on for the championship.
Yeah, Theo Hesketh has had such a nightmare this weekend. That's pretty much put him out of contention in the championship. Kurt Roberts won't believe his luck. Does he know at the moment that Pulling is out? He may be getting a signal from the sidelines. He's certainly going to end up lapping her, there's no doubt. She's so slow. She's still going though, Jake. She hasn't given up, because who knows? She could, just by tootling round, we're already seeing people dropping out of the race. That's an extra point or two she may pick up. And if she does that, she lost the championship last year by 2 points. She knows if she just tootles round, if she can pick up 1 or 2 places with people dropping out of the race, that may be enough to win in the championship in the final analysis at the end of the season. But certainly, as you say, Jake, Kurt Roberts, who leads this, Ross Deal and James Pashley have had a lifeline thrown to them.
Replay. This is Connor Kearney.
Lifeline.
Yeah, Connor Kearney losing the places. Ross Deal goes up the inside and takes the place. Theo Edgerton's going to get through. So too goes James Pashley. So they are definitely gaining ground in a race that is not going to see that lady, Abbi Pulling, win. She's being lapped, but as you say, she just got to keep pedaling round. If she finishes even in 20th, that's good points. Here we go, up the inside, Ethan Newsham getting through. Kurt Roberts now second, so Albone is third, Page is fourth, and if we look back, who is next in the queue? Is that Ross Deal? It is! 5th position now. So Ross Deal has got Theo Edgerton and James Pashley going with him. They're trying to work their way through the field together, but Ross Deal is now in a 5th position. It's game on again.
Now, Kurt Roberts on the E-plate, Ross Deal on the 10, and the 9 kart James Pashley have all passed Abbi Pulling. They know the championship leader is right down the back of the field, and their championship bid is back on. If she'd have won this race, pretty much, I think it was all over. It's not all over now.
So here we go again. Can Kurt Roberts throw it up to the inside line? No. Very nice defensive driving from Ethan Newsham to hold the line. Albone in third, Page in fourth. He was the one who actually accidentally went into the back of the kart in front of him when Abbi Pulling was slowing up. He won't get a penalty for that unless of the nose cone.
I'm telling you now, Jake, you've just reminded me there, that was such a big hit, and that was not Alex Page's fault. Now, there's been a lot of discussions about the drop-down nose cone. You can actually see his nose cone there is dropped, so he's going to get a 10-second penalty at the end of this. And I have to say, that is very, very tough on him, because he had nowhere to go. That's a flat-out turn 1 corner. You're not on the brakes. You're not thinking about being on the brakes. Pulling had a problem. They all had to take avoiding action. Unfortunately for Alex there in 4th place, you could definitely see his nose cone has dropped. He's hit the kart in front at pace, and that certainly will have been enough to knock the nose cone out of alignment. And when he comes in, the scrutineers will check everybody's nose cone. If it's out of alignment on any kart, it's an automatic 10-second penalty. And I have to say, for Alex Page, that is bad luck for the young man, because he's done nothing wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, the problem with that drop nose cone penalty, of course, is it's designed to kill the loading in the sport, but this is a very different incident.
It has done that. I was talking to Mark Baines about it earlier, saying that, you know, it stopped the loading through Billy's Blind at Clay Pigeon last time. We didn't see any of it. Normally, that's a classic through Billy's Blind at Clay Pigeon, where you see all sorts of karts off through turn 1 years ago. Now it's stopped that, but Mark's point was that he thinks people are brake checking people while they're out front. They know they've got somebody behind, they'll hit the brakes and try and get them a nose cone penalty.
And then of course you get incidents like that where it's completely blameless.
Exactly. So out in Europe it's a 5-second penalty with an appeal. I think I've got a solution for it. I think we should have appeals, but the way it should be, the scrutineer should make the decision, give them whatever the penalty is, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but they should still allow appeals, as we see later in the race. Up the inside, Page now through for 2nd place. If they allow appeals, just make the decision, a 10-second penalty. If people think they've got proof...
Roberts back through to 2nd. If people think they've got proof from an onboard camera like that, where they couldn't do anything about it, then allow them to appeal. I think that is going to be the way forward. I really hope that that's the kind of thing that is going to be discussed in the future, because when drivers are blameless in incidents like that and it costs you a 10-second penalty, that's where you start getting to the Formula One insanity, where penalties are given for drivers who are sat in their pits while their cars are in bits and they're given a 70-place grid penalty. All sorts of shenanigans happens in the upper echelons of motor racing that are a bit silly, but here we are on the last lap, and I'm just hoping against hope that Alex Page in third position is not going to have the crushing blow of having his position taken away from him, but I fear that might be the case. Newsham in the lead, Kurt Roberts in second, a great battle behind these guys, but third on the road, at least for the moment, is Alex Page, and deservedly so. Whether he gets to keep the place or not is obviously going to be up for discussion afterwards, but here he comes through the final few corners of the race, down the Devil's Elbow for the last time. But you have to say, Ethan Newsham has definitely won a brilliantly convincing race today. Out of the final turn, they're still pushing a little bit further back for a nice couple of overtaking moves, but Newsham wins it on the... Oh, contact at the end of the race! Now, who's that's come together?
Theo
2 or 3 cars together.
60 is Theo Hesketh. Liana Page has been spun round by the 61.
No. Is it George Out Williams in the middle of the road there? The 73, I think, as well.
It is.
Let's watch again as they went down through Devil's Elbow. Up the inside, whoopsie-daisy, George Out Williams going for a move there on Theo Hesketh. That really has put the kibosh on a dodgy weekend for him, as Liana Page is spun around by Harry Nunn trying to avoid the incident. Nobody could really get away from that one in the middle of the road. Disaster for everyone. Abbi Pulling crosses the line, points, but agony. She had a win in her pocket there. Newsham wins from Kurt Robertson. Rob Wellham. Page is given that inevitable penalty from Albone, Deal and Pashley in the top 6.
First win at Super One, obviously. Nice to see you on the top step of the podium for the first time. Can we keep this going, though?
Yeah, hopefully for the next couple of rounds, yeah.
Who do you want to thank for your win?
My dad, Brian, Cole for the engines, and Talco and everyone at Talco for the great chassis.
You never forget your first win. Ethan Newsham, a great day for him. Abbi Pulling still leads the championship, but it's a little bit tetchy. Deal, Pashley, Roberts and Page are all given a bit of a lifeline to catch up with her. We move on to Junior Rotax after the break. Will the Chesterton bandwagon roll on?